What am I doing? Hello, is this thing on? It's me, Gabby. Something is going down in this mystery box and I can't let it happen. I've been plotting. I will strike. Oh dear, here comes Mom.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Courtney. It's another round of the mystery box challenge. So you guys know how this goes. A group of YouTubers get together, we send each other some boxes, and we start DIYing. Now this month, we have a guest host and it is Whitney. So let's check out real quick what she had up her sleeve for this month's mystery box. Let's break it down. Items 1, 2, 3, 4 was a sender's choice. 5 had to be made of wood, 6 had to be clothing, 7 had to be from the pet store, 8 had to be from the garden, 9 was a challenge item, my choice, and 10 was a challenge item from the thrift store. The twist, we have to work nature into one of those challenge items. Now, if it wasn't confusing enough, items 1, 4, 2, 3, and 9 had to all be made of different materials. Don't forget, you can vote. There are voting cheat sheets, a link down in the description box along with the voting. It will be open till next Friday at noon, so make sure you get your votes in. So there you have it. That is what this mystery box is all about. I think Whitney came up with a great plan. I was very excited shopping for it. I had a great time shopping and coming up with all the things to send. Now I actually got to send my box to Whitney, and I'm just gonna say it, I was hard. I tried to pick out items that were super hard, and I think she's gonna do a great job. I cannot wait to see what she does, and I'm very excited because my friend Kristen from Kristen K is back in the box this month, and she's the one who sent me a box. So let's check out what Kristen sent me. So here's my box from Kristen. All right, oh, things are falling off my list. Don't mind that, don't worry about it. All right, it says Courtney. She sent me some gummy cluster nerds and a little card. Let's see here. Dearest Courtney, thank you for letting me join in on the mystery box after being a year MIA. Good luck on your challenge item. You might need it. I sent candy. Love, Kristen. Okay. Here we go. So I see, oh. All right, this is obviously a challenge item. Okay, hold on. Stand up. Oh, wow, okay. Okay. Oh, Kristen. Okay, this is another challenge item. Let me just get a little organized here. So I'm just gonna kind of grab these out. And she put tags on them to kind of help us figure it out. So this is the outdoor garden item. It is a pitcher. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Here we have the pet section. A little kitty litter scoop. Put that in there. Next, we have a wood item. Okay, not bad. Wood roses. So far, I'm not, you know, I'm not super worried. Let's see. Oh, I didn't read the tag on this one. Sorry. What is this? Clothing or accessory. So she sent a pack of bandanas. Not bad. You can do a lot of things with these. Let's see. Number 3. Okay, this is, I guess, a self-choice or sender's choice, I think is what we called it. All right, 2-pack of burlap bags. Very good. Okay, I'm digging the box, Kristen. I'm digging it. Oh, I think the tag fell off this one. We're going to say that this was number 1, sender's choice. Polymer clay. Huh. I have not seen that at mine. Interesting. It's like brown, white, black, gray. So polymer clay. All right. Is it air dry? I don't know. I don't know about that. All right. Then we've got item number 4, sender's choice. Oh, these are actually really cute. Okay, they're teeny tiny little gummy bear beads. Those are actually, I don't know if I will get this to, there we go. Those are actually really cute. Very cute. Okay. And then the last one, number 2, sender's choice, she sent me some florals. Okay, here we go. Challenge items. Let's see. Okay, this one says, challenge items, sorry, not sorry. This is the thrift store challenge item, which Okay, one of the challenge items, remember on the twist, we're gonna have to work nature into it. So I'm gonna have to work nature into one of these challenge items. So we'll go ahead and do the thrift store one real quick. Kind of squishy. Is it a basket? Oh, okay. It's like a little flower basket. All right, not bad. Okay, digging it. And the sorry, not sorry item. If this is a doll, I'm just gonna fall out of my chair because I don't know what it is about people sending me dolls. I have no words for this. Wow. Kristen, darn you. I really am taken back. Like, wow. It is a pork femur bone dog chew. It smells really bad. I've regained my composure. So I'm gonna take a couple days, probably a couple of weeks to figure this out. Kristen, all I can give you is props for this girl. Like, I like a good challenge, and I hope that I can wow everyone with what I'm gonna come up with for this. So let's get this crafting party started. Let's dive into it. For this DIY, I will be using polymer clay, some of the gummy bear beads, along with the kitty litter scoop. I'm going to be starting with this Precious Moment figure that I picked up from the thrift store. It's going to get a little makeover. Now, this first DIY is actually a seasonal DIY. It is going to go along the Halloween vibe, which, fun fact, I don't actually decorate for Halloween, but I really do enjoy making Halloween DIYs. So that's what we're doing here. So I started by painting the dress on this figure with some black paint, and then I grabbed the clay and started to sculpt a little witch hat. Now, the clay package had like 5 different colors in there. I just grabbed some of the black and gray, mixed it together. I don't know if you've ever worked with this clay from Dollar Tree before, but it is not very fun. It, as you can tell, turned my hands black, and it doesn't actually harden. Like, there were no instructions on it. It just said polymer clay, which I'm guessing you bake it, but it wasn't air dry. So I don't know. If you've ever worked with this clay before, let me know. Have you tried baking it to harden it? I just kind of rolled with it and left it as is, but I shaped a little hat, and then I decided that the hair on my little figurine definitely needed to be orange. She was holding a little wand, so I decided just to paint the entire thing brown. It was like a little wand with a star at the end of it, so I just went with kind of a wood look for that, and then I just left her skin tone the way it was instead of going over and painting all that again. At this point, it was time to put the hat on her head, so I just put it right on top of the crown and just kind of shaped it around, and then I decided it needed a little bit more clay, so I just worked that in there and then took a coat of the Waverly chalk paint, the color ink, and just painted the entire hat. It's time to start adding the little details to this project, so I grabbed one of these styrofoam pumpkins that I had in my stash, gave it a coat of paint, then took a hobby knife and just hollowed out the inside so that I'll have a place to put some candy, and I just used a paint marker to fill in the inside so that it wasn't this bright white color. Then grabbing a Sharpie, I drew a jack-o'-lantern face on this, and then also grabbed some black wire little snippets that I had to make a little black handle refill. So this is my little trick-or-treating bucket. And of course, inside, I'm going to put a few of those gummy bear beads that Kristen sent me. Now we're going to work this kitty litter scoop along with this piece of wood into this DIY. And I stared at this thing for several days and all I kept seeing was a fence. So I was like, okay, this is going to work. Grabbed my tin snips and I broke it down to get a piece of this and just used my heat gun because as you could tell the scoop was curved and I needed this to kind of flatten out a bit, so I just used my heat gun to try to flatten it out just a bit. I grabbed my brown wax and painted my wood base with that, and then I also took that brown wax and gave my kitty litter scoop fence a coat of the wax. Time to pull this together. So I grabbed my fence piece and hot glued that to the very back of this wood base. Then taking some moss, I attached that just kind of here or there on the base, along with a little bit on the fence. The Precious Moment figurine, I figured out where I wanted her to go in there, and then I also wanted to glue down some of these pumpkins that I had in my stash again. Those were originally from Hobby Lobby. I glued those down, and then this piece was finished. I absolutely love how this turned out, and I am now on the hunt for Precious Moment figurines because I have a bunch of Christmas ideas that I want to make with these. And so, yes, I am super excited to do more of these type of projects. One more project using the clay. In that same trip with the Precious Moment figurine, I found this Willow Tree figure and thought, okay, I can customize this and put it in a very special cabinet that I have here in my house. So of course I needed to customize the people. So for the man, I painted his hair blonde to represent my husband. And then of course my hair, I painted it orange. And then taking some of that clay, I made a little heart and painted it red. From there, I grabbed some of my jewelry making stuff. I needed to create a little chain so that the heart would be hanging from where their hands were. And I just hot glued it kind of up there and just let the heart dangle down. And that's it. I thought about putting like our wedding anniversary our date on there, but I was like, simple is better in this one. And now it's in my special cabinet and I absolutely love it. I grabbed the watering can for this project and started by picking up my tin snips and cutting off the top portion of the watering can. Then I marked a line where I wanted this to, I guess basically the height that I wanted this to end up being, and used my heat knife to help me get the remaining part of the watering can off. Taking a piece of cardboard, I traced around the base of my watering can because I need to make a liner for the inside of this. And so I traced it, I cut it out, and then used some gray fabric to cover that piece. Then for the inside, I cut a smaller piece of fabric and just secured it inside of my watering can. We'll just call it a bucket or basket. And I made sure to fold it over the top so that that edge wasn't kind of the rough plasticky edge, but a nice fabric edge instead. Now it's time to start wrapping the outside of this. So taking some jute rope that I got in a roll from Amazon and my glue pen, I started on the bottom and just started to wrap it. Once the bottom was covered, I started going up the sides, making sure to secure it with hot glue every now and then. I will definitely link everything you see in today's video down below in the description box if you have any questions about what I'm using. To work on the trim of my little basket, I grabbed some of this macrame cording that I also got on Amazon and started by cutting strips about 8 inches. They were too long for this. I could have probably done 5-inch strips, but I cut a bunch of strips and then I attached them to a piece of the cording, just folding them in half, kind of making the little loop, pulling the tails through, and I continued to do that, attaching it all along the top of the cording to make sure that it would wrap all the way around the top of my watering can basket. Here's a quick little tip to figure out how much you need for the trim. Now, in order to figure it out, because of the way I was tying these on, I took my cording and I wrapped it around 2 times on the top of my little watering can basket, and that would assure me that I would have enough to put this up on there. I know it sounds weird, but when you start to add these little bulky pieces, it makes a difference. And so just know that you probably need more than you think when you're making a trim like this. This is the most time-consuming part, separating all of these strings out. I started off with a weeding tool, then I busted out a comb, and this is definitely one of those sit down, watch a movie, maybe even two, to get this all frayed up. 800 hours later, this is taking forever. This craft is very time-consuming. 5,800,000,000,6,000,000,000 minutes. That's how long it'll take you to unravel this. I'll be retired from YouTube before this is on. Finally got all of that unraveled to the best of my ability, and it was time to attach my trim. So just taking some hot glue, I glued it all along the top of my little watering can basket, and then I did give it a little trim to make the length of the macrame cord what I wanted it to be. The last thing I wanted to do to this basket was add some handles. So I had this piece of wire just from a previous project, which I cut in half. Then taking some of that macrame cording, I wrapped each piece with that, bent it into a handle shape, leaving a little bit of the wire sticking out so that I could poke it into my basket. I did put a little hot glue in there just to make sure that my handles were secure. Wouldn't recommend picking this thing up by the handles. It's more for looks at this point, but I absolutely love how this turned out, even if it did take me quite a while to make. This project, we're going back to 3rd grade because I think that was the last time that I made one of these. We're going to turn these bandanas into a little no-sew satchel bag. So you want to start with 2 bandanas. It could be any color, anything that you want. I'm working with what was given to me. Take your 2 bandanas and you want to turn them pretty side to pretty side towards the inside. Line them up as best you can. These weren't exactly the same size, but it's going to be okay if they're not perfectly matched up. On one side, you want to cut a strip. It's about 1 inch wide on both pieces, and this is going to end up being the top portion of your bag. So to make it easy, just turn that to the top, and now we can start working on the sides. So we've got the top at the top of this screen. The other 3 sides are going to get little strips cut, but on each side that you work, leave about 2 inches before you start cutting these 1 inch wide strips. And they're, I don't know, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, whatever you want to do. Just kind of try to make them somewhat even. And again, leaving 2 inches on either end of the side. So there I left the 2 inches. Then when I go to the bottom, there's kind of 2 inches. I'll cut my strips, again, leaving 2 inches, and then do that last side, same thing. Now we need to go into the corners. As you see, you have a bigger piece here. And what I'm doing is I'm just cutting 2 small strips, cutting that off, and you're left with this kind of weird looking little piece. So cut a little strip on this one, cut a little strip, weird looking piece. Okay, and the top will get that as well. But what that'll do is it'll allow our bag to curve instead of looking kind of funky. Once that's done, then you're ready to just start tying. So work your way down each of the sides and double knot as you tie. When you do the little corner, I started with the corner there, double knot it and just work your way all the way around until you've double knot all of your pieces all along the bandana. All the strips have been tied. Now you need to grab those 2 pieces that you cut in the very beginning. This is going to be our strap. So you want to take the 2 pieces and just double knot them, tie them together, then turn your bag inside out, and you want to attach your strap to the very top. You should have those 2 last little corners left, and just work the strap into those 2 little corners, tie it down, and now you've got yourself a cute little satchel that you can use pretty much for whatever you want. Easy to use. If you lose it, if you damage it, no big deal, because you can just whip up another one in no time at all. This next project, I'm going to use the rest of the gummy bear beads. I'm also doing something I've never done on my channel, which is a resin project. So I am a total newbie, total beginner. I can't say that I can give you a ton of tips on this. I just follow the directions. I poured, the 2 different things in separate cups. I stirred it, mixed them together. I had 40-minute work time. I will say this, what I learned, beads. I don't think beads are meant to be in resin projects because little air bubbles kept getting trapped in those gummy bear beads. Now the end result looks great. My daughter loves them. I think they're super cute. So it really doesn't matter. But I would say probably don't want to use beads as far as like putting it together. I tried putting the beads down in the mold first, then pouring the resin. The beads went flying everywhere. Then I tried a little layer of resin, put the beads in, and they still went flying everywhere. So it's definitely a learning process. I had fun, something totally new that I've never done. And in the end, I'm very happy with how they turned out. And my daughter loves them. I think they're going to be so cute in their apartment next year. Oh my gosh, it's working. These cute little coasters. Oh, look how cute. Okay, and then it's got the gummy bears on the side. I absolutely love picking up these fabric bags from Dollar Tree. I love to use them as gift bags, but personalize them, make them a little more, I don't know, bougie, fancy, special. So the first thing I did was pull out that kind of cheapy red cording, and I grabbed some of my velvet ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I pulled out some purple and blue, although I'm going to end up switching the blue in a minute to pink because, well, you'll see in just a minute, but I just took out the red and I put some tape, and it's really easy to feed this through. You don't have to do anything crazy or special, and so I just fed the velvet ribbon through the top of each of these bags. Now to continue personalizing this, you certainly could do some iron-on vinyl here, but one thing I like to do, particularly in the summer, as soon as I find out who my son's teachers are, I like to go pick up iron-on things with their letters. I find that summertime is a great time to kind of stock up, not only for your friends or family members, if you want to pick up some iron-on letters, because it's just kind of a quiet time. There's not Christmas, there's not fall, and you can often find what you're looking for. So that's usually when I stock up for the year. And so last summer when I found out I'd picked up these letters from Hobby Lobby, well, this is why I changed it to pink. I thought I had a blue K, but it was a pink K. And so I've just had these in my stash, and I'm just ironing these on. So again, you don't need to have a Cricut, but if you do, you definitely could do iron on vinyl. I'm just pressing these down onto the bag just for that little extra something. And these will be used during Teacher Appreciation Week for one of the days when my son gives them a gift. Moving into the first challenge item, I will be using florals, the wood roses, this flower basket, and I'm going to work the twist in here where I have to use some element from nature. So when I first saw this basket, what I saw was, okay, I need half of this basket. I need it to be half. So I did pop off the little flower medallion thing because I definitely was going to use that again. But as I started to cut this and break it apart, I realized the wires inside using to support this basket, there was no way I could cut them. Like I thought I could, but I couldn't. So what I ended up having to do was basically take all of these little strips apart. Then I rebuilt the bottom of the basket. So I just glued it, pieced them together, took the bottom parts, glued those on, and just recreated the basket minus the wire insert. The next thing I needed to do was to cut out 2 circles. So I used this wire roll to get my outside circle. Then I used my wax to draw an inside circle, and I cut out the inside. So essentially I had this little bagel looking thing, donut looking thing. Then I just wrapped them with some of that jute twine that I used in my watering can basket project. From there, I worked in my element nature by going out in the front yard, grabbing some sticks, and I cut them down because I'm turning these into wheels. So I just cut them down, used some hot glue. I made a little center jute twine circle so that I could put those in the center of my wheels and secure my wood sticks to those so that my wheels would be sturdy. Taking my 2 wheels and some hot glue, I glued those to the sides of my little flower basket. Then I also took another piece of a stick and cut a smaller piece to put a handle so that I would have a handle for my wagon, and I also glued that to the bottom of my basket. I grabbed a gold paint pen to trace over the word flowers on this little metal plate. I also trimmed those little gold brackets so that I could just hot glue this directly to the front of my flower basket. So I got that attached. Just remember, it's hot when you put that glue on there. It gets really hot. Then I grabbed some foam, and it was time to add the florals that Kristen sent me. And then for the wooden roses, I decided to just use one of my acrylic markers, and I colored them yellow and just added them to pieces of floral that I had and worked those into this little flower arrangement, and my little flower cart is ready to be displayed. Guess what? I finally figured out what to do with this foam. I'm gonna spray paint it. Where's my bone? That wraps up another mystery box challenge. Let me know your favorite project that I made. Also, what would you have done with those challenge items? The flower basket, the dog bone, and working a piece of nature into one of those. I'd love to hear what you would have made. Don't forget, you can vote. Everything is down below in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!